you're back with Nurse Chels. I'm so excited that you guys have tuned in to watch my new video. This is my pharmacology flashcards. They're the 3rd edition. It's by Valerie Leak. Okay, and they're very, very helpful. I'll go ahead and give you an example of one. It tells you what system the drug is pertaining to. As we see here, this is for the endocrine system, it's ocreotide. It tells you the brand name, the generic name of the drug, and on the back side it's very helpful because it gives you the therapeutic class, it gives you the drug indication, action, adverse reactions, and side effects. It also tells you things that we might want to keep in mind while we're giving this drug. Okay, it tells us what to teach the client about this drug. Okay, so they're very, 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 very helpful. And it also goes a step further and tells us how we can make a connection and what to assess. Just one word of advice to you, just to start this whole video off right: nursing school is the devil. Serious, but serious. Okay, it's not all the way the devil, but it got some devilish tendencies, trust me. Okay, but at the same time, you're tuned in, and I'm going to give you some helpful hints on what to expect during your first semester of nursing school and how to come out of nursing school. If you don't know something, look it up. It's your first semester of nursing school. We don't know everything. If you don't know something, don't be afraid to look it up. Don't be afraid to say, I'm not sure, so let me look that up. Okay, I know me, one experience for me is when I had clinicals. My preceptor asked me what a certain medication did. I had never heard of this medication before in my life. It kind of made me feel some type of way though. It kind of made me feel like I was unprepared, like I wasn't competent, because I don't know, I just kind of beat myself up about not knowing what it was. So I was kind of like, I don't know. And she was like, okay, look it up. Which I wasn't sure if I could look it up on the floor like that, but she was like, sure girl, go ahead and look it up. So I was like, okay, great. So I looked it up and told her, and then she was like, all right, okay. But guess what? When I went home that day, I stopped by the bookstore and picked up this drug guide for nurses. Okay, and it's wonderful, and I picked this one because it's an easy read. Okay, I don't like books where it's hard to kind of understand, so you got to try to look for what you're looking for and try to figure out what you're reading at the same time. This is an easy read. It's in layman's terms. I like how it has like things highlighted, and one of the things that I liked about this book is it goes into detail and it gives you a lot of good information. For example, it tells you patient and family teaching, some things that you would teach the family and the patient about as far as that medication is concerned. It goes on to tell you about what your desired outcomes should be with that medication. It tells you, of course, the mechanism of action, its indications, its pharmacokinetics, how it's distributed in the body, how it's metabolized, and how it's excreted. It tells you its half-life. It basically tells you every single thing that you'll want to know. It tells you what to assess for with its medication. It goes on to tell you what your primary nursing diagnosis will be. So long story short, get you a nurse guide and something like this, because it'll help you a lot in pharmacology, and it'll help you a lot when you go to clinicals, because I didn't mind carrying this around at clinicals with me. Now, if you don't want to carry something around, just get you an app. Foundations of Nursing, I had health assessment, and I had pharmacology. What I would do is every day I would get home from school, I would study each one of those topics for 1 hour. Then when I was done with that, what I would do is I would take one that I wanted to focus more in depth on, and then I would study the remainder of the time that I chose to study that day. I would just focus on one of those topics. But I felt like it was important for me to at least study each of those topics 1 hour a day, because, for example, I only had health assessment on Thursdays. It would be not smart of me if I only study health assessment on Thursdays when I had the class, because I don't know if you know it, but We have a lot of information that's taught to us, and we have to retain a lot in nursing school. And if I only looked at health assessment on Thursdays, by the time I got to that next Thursday, I probably wouldn't remember much of it. Okay. I literally was like, when I got into nursing school, it was so different. It was a different style of learning than I was used to. So I just was like, oh my God, this is so much information. I'm just going to study all day. When I come home from school, I'm going to just study, and I'm going to study till I go to sleep. Don't do that. I almost died. All right, I'm serious. I almost died, okay? Don't do that, all right? So take study breaks. What I mean by that is study for an hour or study for 45 minutes. Take a 30-minute break or an hour break. Study for an hour, break an hour. Focus on every assignment, okay? Don't be like, oh, I just don't kind of feel like doing this assignment, so I'm just kind of half crap it and not really just pay attention to it, or I won't, give it 100%. I'll just do enough just to make it. Don't do that. I was like, this is going to be horrible and I could possibly end up failing because I kind of just blew this assignment off. Where if I would have put 100% into it, I would have been like, oh, okay, no big deal. I got these points off, but I know I gave you 100% or at least enough effort to get 100. So even if you take some points off, I can still pass it. Long story short, though, I did end up passing it at the minimum, like right at the number that I needed to pass it. So yeah, my advice to you, don't blow off any assignment. Just get it done. Give 100% towards it, and then you won't be in the same boat that I was in. Because baby, I was stressing, I was sweating, I could not eat. It was horrible. It was a nightmare. Okay, this is my pharmacology notes. This is about seizures and pregnancy. You see where she gave us like the PowerPoint itself, but then I would go back in the book and things that I felt like I wanted to know or that was kind of important, I would go back and write my own notes from the book, just so that I could just be covered all the way around. Okay, so take notes. Nursing school is constantly on the go. Like, it's constant. It never stops. Every time you look up, there's an assignment after assignment, another assignment, another assignment. There's a test after test after test after test. What I mean by that is it's always on the go. That's something that you can expect in your first semester of nursing school. It's always something. Like, I barely ever had time just to relax and chill. And then when I did take breaks, I felt guilty about taking those breaks because I was like, I have so much things to do that I feel guilty about just relaxing and just enjoying myself or enjoying myself with my family. So you do need to take those breaks, but just know that it's gonna be like that. It's just constantly on the go. It's always something. It's always an assignment. It's always a checkoff. It's just always something coming up. It's like as soon as you get one thing done, you celebrate that victory, but by the end of that day, it's like, okay, I have to start prepping now for the next thing. Because it's go, 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 go. And it's like, as soon as I will get a victory and I will pass a checkoff, I'll be like, yeah, I'm so happy. But then later on that day, I'm like, oh my God, I have to start studying because I have a pharmacology test in about a couple of days. So checkoffs, practice your skills regularly. One thing that I did is I practiced my skills regularly, and our teacher kind of told us that too, because one thing about it is, they'll teach you a skill and then you won't touch that skill again maybe until the end of the semester. And at the end of the semester, they're still going to expect you to know how exactly and precisely to carry out that skill. So don't just do it and then be like, all right, the end. I'm not saying you have to practice your skill every day, but at least once a week, touch up on a skill or two, just so you don't forget how to do it. Because at the end of my program, we had a simulation lab that we were graded on, and we didn't know what they were going to ask us to do. They just were like, just make sure you know how to do every skill that we taught you, because everything is fair game. So practice on your skills, okay? I'm a mother of 3. I have 3 little girls, and nursing school and making time for them was very, very, very challenging for me. I just learned that the time that I did have with them, I literally had to make it count. Like, we would just go do random things. We would just go out for ice cream in the middle of the week. We would just go out and go to the park in the middle of the week. We would just do random things, or just have movie like night or something like that in the middle of the week. And then I would get right back to studying afterwards, because I knew that I didn't have a lot of time with them. So the time that I did have, I wanted to make it count, because I'm a parent where I used to always be at their stuff, always be there, always doing stuff with them. And nursing school is just kind of, it takes the front seat, and they literally had to take the back seat. So just know that you'll have to exercise patience, because with all the studying and going to school and go, it's easy to kind of be on edge already. And so it's easy for, if your kids do something, you'll just kind of immediately it's easier to get irritated. And that's something that I had to realize and say, you know what, no, don't do that. You know, it's not their fault, and it's not mine either. You know, it's just, you just have to figure out how to do it effectively. And I had to tell myself a lot, like, it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. You're just tired. you're pushed to the point, but you don't have to show it. So after you get finished reading a chapter, go back and look at your chapter reviews. They will help you with your test. So yeah, the thing that I did was exercise. I can say that I fell off the bandwagon. I normally exercise. Well, before I started my first semester, I exercised a lot. But once I started nursing school, and I still was kind of exercising in the beginning, but towards like maybe a month in, it was so much work to do. I was still trying to make time for my family and stuff. So I really just kind of fell off the bandwagon with exercising. I started kind of feeling like crap too, because I exercised, then I would feel bad about not exercising, and then it was just like a snowball effect. I would want to exercise, and then I'd say, but I can't, I'll exercise later. Later would come, I wouldn't exercise, because I'm like, that could be time I could be studying. You know, what if I'm out exercising and I'm not studying, and I miss something on my test because I was out exercising? It just didn't seem, you know, like a good exchange or trade-off. So I would just dump off exercising. I want to tell you that exercising is so good to do, because it releases, like, you know, stress. It really also like puts us in a happier mood. So please, if you're an exerciser, just continue to exercise and make that a priority, because it will help you in the long run. Some of my classmates said they would go to the gym. It would clear their mind. It would help them relieve stress, and then they'd be able to go back and study effectively. Whereas then I was somewhere in a corner, like losing my mind. So yeah, exercise. Start working on your dosage calculation. All right, this is our dosage calc book that we used. All right, and I mean, know your ounces, teaspoons. I'm not sure if this is like focusing in or not, but like, know your measurements. So, they'll tell you a doctor orders 5 milliliters of a medication. How many teaspoons is that? And they'll expect you to know it. So know it. They also have like little things in here as far as like syringes and how to like draw it up, and how far to draw 5 milliliters. So it's nothing too difficult, I don't think, but these are just like some problems as far as like drips per minute and stuff like that. So write things down, you may forget, unless you just have a perfect memory, which you might, and that's fine, but I didn't. So I needed a planner. It broke it down. It have like day by day, where if I want to write something day by day in it, and or if you want to, it also has like a whole calendar. And if you guys can see, I will write the assignment and what was due, and then I would write like I would go back after I would find out the grade and write the grade. But if you guys can see, that's kind of how I did it. You want to write down what day is due and what to expect and what's coming up, because I had to get a planner, because The main thing that I can tell you guys what to expect in nursing school is don't expect the questions to be like you're used to in undergrad. That's my main thing. Don't expect that, all right? Because I almost died because that was so bizarre to me that another tip, something else that I did that helped me out a lot. I was so overwhelmed and so stressed out during nursing school. And I don't know if you guys know it, but when you're stressed out, you're not able to fight off diseases and sicknesses as adequately as you'd be able to if you weren't stressed out and if you weren't overwhelmed. So one thing that I made sure that I did every single day before I went to school is I would take vitamin C. Take vitamin C, guys. It's good. Nursing school is quite hideous. It's stressful. It's a beast. But difficult doesn't mean impossible again. And I do want you guys to enjoy your journey, because while I was in it, I kind of couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But now that I'm out of it, the light was there all along. I just was so blinded by the assignments that I couldn't see it. So I want to encourage you guys that the light is there. You may not be able to see it right now because of all the assignments and stuff that you have to do, but the light is there. And enjoy your journey. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And until next time, live, laugh, and heal. Peace.